Hi again, this is Mira again from Buy Yarn. We did a live video earlier. Well, I'm knitting this particular pattern. It's just a pattern that I did off the cuff. But I've had a couple requests for people um, for me to post it. So I'll post it and post it on for free on Ravelry. But anyway, I couldn't put it down. So I'm back again and I'm knitting it. And I'm going to show you what I do with my edges and the stitch that I use. And I'm using just basically the knit stitch. It's a garter stitch. Um, we have a full skein of yarn and we have an itty bitty scrap. So if you're at home, during this whole coronavirus thing, do support your local yarn store. Go in and grab yourself a skein of Buy Yarn at your local shop. And here we go. This is my little scarf. I'm going to do a new one with about 40 stitches or so. But here's how I treat the edges. It's a garter stitch, and we're going to do the knit stitch throughout the whole scarf. I know it's kind of boring, but for me it's very therapeutic and very meditative, and I don't really have to concentrate much. So first couple of stitches, I'm going to create this beautiful, beautiful edge that's a reversible edge. So what I do is, with yarn in front, slip the first stitch to your right hand needle, place the yarn in the back, and knit the second stitch. And as you can see, I'm carrying two yarns together because we are going to mix colors on this one and have a little fun. The third and the fourth stitch, you're going to knit two together. And now you're just going to knit to the end of the row. And if you're new to knitting, this is called the knit stitch. And when you do the knit stitch on both the front and the back side of your work, we call that the right side and the wrong side of your work, you are going to create a garter stitch pattern, and it looks like that. Okay. So with this particular pattern, like I said, slip the first stitch, knit the second stitch, knit together stitch 3 and 4. We call that knit 2 together. And on the third to the last stitch, you are going to increase a stitch. You're going to knit front and back of the stitch. Then you're going to put the yarn in front, slip the second to the last stitch, put the yarn in back, and knit that last stitch. See that? That creates a really pretty edge. Now we're going to start over, or we're going to work now on the wrong side. Slip the stitch, your first stitch with yarn in front, over to your right hand needle, switch the yarn into the back, and knit to the end of row. Like I said, I'll post this pattern on Ravelry as a free pattern, but you're going to have to give me some time to write it. Gauge is not really important. I just used 2 strands of fingering weight. My main ball is the Savannah yarn, and my little itsy bits of pieces are the La Jolla yarn. They're both fingering weights yarns. The Savannah has a little bit, it's an MCN. It's a merino, superwash merino, cashmere, and a nylon. Okay, here we go. This is second to the last stitch. It is very, very soft, and Becca's here with me. So we're at the second to the last stitch. Put the yarn in front, slip the stitch, put the yarn back in the back, and knit the stitch.
Beautiful.
So that's all it is, and as you see, it's starting to come along pretty nice. All right, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in a few days.